Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the VFR build. I've got good news, bad news this morning. The bad news first, this gas tank continues to annoy me. If we take a look at this sucker, you can kind of see like there's the rust forming in these little streaks down on the inside there, but I'm annoyed that this continues. I continue to have rust issues where the rust just reforms on me. I get it cleaned off and then it forms again, and I just I really want to save that tank just because, you know, it has character or whatever, you know. The original tank, it has character and it's fun to be able to reuse the original stuff, you know. But this is starting to frustrate me, and getting a new tank is like $125 or something like that to $200 in that range. Getting not a new tank, another used tank that's in better shape. So I'm thinking about that. The good news would be this box here. So this box contains what we have been waiting for, which is our stuff to rebuild the fuel pump. Which, if our gas tank was still in good shape, we could possibly get the bike started this week. But things are not going smoothly around here. All right, yes, this is all of our stuff for our fuel pump rebuild, which is cool. Oh, look, it comes with the little steel scrubby. I still don't understand the steel scrubby. What does that do? Yeah, here it is, man. Here it is. Sweet. All right, so I'm gonna get organized here, and we will work on rebuilding that fuel pump. I've been messing with this fuel tank here, and it is dead. All this liquid on the ground is this evapor rust. Because what I was trying to do is clear out this guy here. I had the compressed air, and I blew that out, and I was trying to clean that out. And I've been being able to pour some of that evapor rust down in there, and it just drains right through. And I've got the bottom of it plugged where it's supposed to come out. I've got it all plugged and sort of capped off with this old hose. And it just drains through, and then all of a sudden I'm getting liquid on the ground, and I'm like, what the heck, man? And with the flashlight, I can see there's like a hole in this tube, and it's pouring directly into the tank and then draining out our open cap here where the fuel pump was. So this guy's done. I'm just gonna get another tank. I also real quick wanna plug in this old fuel pump just for the heck of it and see what it does when it's actually plugged into the bike. I don't know that it will do anything. In theory, it shouldn't do anything, but just another way of testing it, you know? Turn the bike on, see if this will do anything. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. So yeah, that fuel pump is definitely dead. As we had expected, we tested it we bench tested it. I just wanted to test it again to see if I was missing something. So as far as rebuilding this thing, let's take a good look at how it's put together now. We've got our little intake sock down here. I've got a fuel pump here. We've got this little bendy hose there. We've got another straight hose there, another straight hose there. And we've got this big sort of rubber basket thing on the bottom, and that comes with, so this comes with as like a kit. Let's open this up. This sort of comes as a kit from Honda, where it comes with this little tiny weird piece of rubber there, that little bendy sort of U-bend piece of tubing, and then this little rubber baskety thing on the bottom. And this is all correlates to this stuff down here. This little thing apparently goes across, and I believe that this is what holds this guy in to the little basket. I never had one that was complete and in good shape to sort of have as a reference, so I don't know exactly, but I believe this from what I'm gathering here, goes through the center of this guy. Sort of holds this thing into this basket. And what is the purpose of this? Oh, I wish I knew. It seems ridiculous. I mean, it's all part of the fuel system return line, and I'm curious if this is just sort of like displacement thing. Maybe it spreads out the sort of the power of the fuel as it comes in and sort of displaces it. I don't know. I don't know how fast the fuel is coming back in. That's my theory. So yeah, I think it goes like that. And then this guy goes on top like that, basically. And then this is the line coming in. And it feeds directly onto this guy and then would displace that stuff out. So it just sort of gently comes back into the tank instead of forcefully coming back into the tank. I don't know. That's my theory. Let me know if anybody actually knows what the purpose of this little stainless scrubby is. Let's get this guy out. Let's get our other parts. We've got our aftermarket fuel pump right here. We've got our fuel filter as well. That should be everything. So let's take this guy apart. Obviously I've got like a ground right here. Let's see if we can get that off. Unfortunately, it's very rusty. Man, I should have like sprayed this stuff a while ago. I was not thinking. This bike has turned out to be more expensive than I had anticipated. I'm currently in it for about $1,400, but trying to do the front rebuild on that stuff, the front suspension, I need to rebuild that one way or another. And currently I'm leaning towards doing a fork swap on it. So I have upside down forks, more modern, so to speak, forks on the front. And that, it'll be over $800 to do that. And then we're also looking at just the electronics and stuff. I was gonna do Moto Gadget and M unit and whatnot on that. And that is going to be, that alone is like $400. I mean, the other day I was adding it up and I could easily be into the $4,000 to $5,000 range in total just to get this bike like to where it will roll down the street. And then I want to customize it after that. So it's a bit more than I want to pay or want to spend. So I'm I have a little bit of anxiety related to that. I really wanted to just, for about $2,000 to get this bike just to that point, at least where I could ride it down the street and then reassess, and see how crazy I wanted to get after that. All right, let's see if we can get this screw here. This is problematic. Oh, this bike. Why? Will my impact even fit on this screw? Oh, it will. All right, let's try it. All right, it is now turning. This impact screwdriver works awesome, man. This has helped me out many times. Definitely makes life easier. Let's see if we can get it to work on this one as well. I think that one we just stripped. I'm trying to find some vice grips here to see if I can grab it with some vice grips. really does not want to turn. This is just so frustrating. I'm having a bad day here. Alright, I'm going to unplug this guy. We're going to take what we can apart to see if I can get the wiring out of the way, and we might have to heat that up. That comes off. Now we can depress that. That will come out. Now we can kind of move this out of the way so I can put some heat on this right here. Oh my god, the rubber on this thing is just like, everything on this is just breaking apart. Like all this stuff around here, just horrible shape, man. Alright, so there's that guy off. The crustiest of things, man. Everything to do with this fuel tank sucks. Well, I thought I was gonna just like swap stuff out, maybe clean things up a little bit, but I may be de-rusting some stuff. This may take me a while, longer than I thought, because look at all the rust in here. It's like pouring out like a sandbox. Like there's so much rust. Suddenly it was pouring fuel everywhere. Let's see if I can get this hose off the bottom. That's about the only thing that's in decent shape is this freaking hose here. It's because that was not inside the fuel tank. Everything inside the fuel tank is just wrecked. Now I'm gonna get the torch and light all this on fire. Hopefully that's enough. All right, it is turning. It's amazing how that heat actually, how effective that is. Yeah, that just popped that right off, man. That is turning freely now. And all the rust is just crumbling right off of it. Now, in theory, this fuel pump should come out of here. In theory. But yeah, these hose clamps, man. Oh, that was not bad. That wasn't too bad there. Okay. Now this filter should come right out. There we go. Now we're down to, oh, we got this one more gasket on the bottom here, which pokes through the other side, which is interesting. Pull this guy off. Now we are left with this. I wouldn't mind getting this electrical component off of here. It almost seems like rust that is just settled on here. It's not really the component that's rusted, at least not down here. It's just rust that has accumulated from above, dropping down from the tank onto this thing. And a lot of this seems like it's in good shape here. I mean, surprisingly good shape. The only stuff that's like, I don't know, maybe this ring around here. Well, let's see how that is. So this ring is like the only thing that's actually rusted on here. The rest of it is just got rust particles stuck on it, where it's just sort of landed on there from other parts of the tank. Just you can imagine this is at the bottom of the tank, and the top of the tank is just falling apart and landing on it. I feel like I need to like scrub this off. I'm actually going to try scrubbing it with ATF, transmission fluid, because transmission fluid has a detergent quality to it that may be helpful in this situation. We'll see here. This is just a theory. Because I need something to sort of break up all that. It's sort of like old dehydrated gas that's on here. It's almost like a gel-like substance. And I need something to break that up. I need a detergent of some kind that is specifically good with like petroleum-based gunk, which is exactly what what old gas would be like. And it does seem to be working, honestly. We'll see. I'll have to like spray it off, whatever, when we're done. When I'm done scrubbing, see what kind of results we actually get here. So I have days sometimes where I feel like I've figured out like a cheat code, a cheapskate cheat code, where I'm like just winning at life. I'm getting something like twice as nice for half the price, you know? Like those days exist. But today is not one of those days. Today, I feel like I am just, I wish I had more money, you know, where I could just spend, I could have just bought the $500 unit and be done with it. Because this is just the amount of effort I'm putting into this gas tank for nothing. Nothing. Gas that's sort of stuck to everything. It looks a lot better, but it still looks really crappy too. This part up here is actually rusted. It's like the only part on here that's actually rusted. I'm gonna go ahead and try and wire brush some of this junk off of here and see how much that helps. All right, I'm gonna throw some of that ATF on here, scrub it some more with ATF. We'll be back. So here it is. I've just scrubbed, I've coated it basically in the ATF. I'm gonna let that sit for a bit. At the moment, I'm just kind of stressed out about not being able to afford this bike, basically is where I'm at. I don't know how I'm gonna pay for to build the rest of this bike out. I need to get a job. I've been applying for stuff. But yeah, I need to get money coming in. So on second thought, I mean, acetone. Get my little scrubby brush. Go crazy here. Well, it is not perfect, that is for sure, but it's a lot better than it was, and it's, I think, usable at this point, where the crusty parts on here are not rust, they're just residual gas sort of junk on there. Well, I mean, I guess we can go ahead and rebuild shit, right? I kind of didn't think I was gonna get here today, but let's see what we can do in terms of rebuilding this. We can actually make that happen today. So this weird thing goes down onto here, slots on here, and also somehow gets this little tube up through it. Not sure how all this is supposed to happen. Oh yes, just like that. Check that out. All right, so that guy goes on like so, and then this tube goes over the top like that, but we also need clamps. I'm hoping there's clamps in our little fuel pump kit here, because otherwise I need to get clamps. Yay. All right, so that is not enough clamps. I need one clamp for this. Can I reuse these clamps? I really don't want to do that, because these things have seen some horrible things in their lives. But I guess, motherfuck it. Fuck it, man. This thing, for better or worse, is set up in there. Now, let's get this fuel pump sorted. And the fuel pump wants to go on like this, and we need a little stock on the bottom there, which should be this dude here. So our stock goes on the bottom. Guy to go underneath our little, all of this stuff. So that has to live down there. And then this guy lines up perfectly with that thing. And if I assume it has to snap in there to some degree. And then what the heck, there's supposed to be some kind of rubber, like the old one clamped in there and had like a little rubber brace. Does that not work on this? Does not appear to be the case. That's kind of disappointing. All right, so there's this cruddy little piece here that I'm moving, and that sort of fits up around the fuel pump in a nice, neat little way, and it holds everything in place and allows this thing to be sort of jammed in that holder there. And I do not have that piece. Can I even order that piece? I ordered like every piece I could. So that part is not even an option. And the fact that it does not come with this fuel kit, this little fuel pump thing, means that this is a crappy fuel kit. It's crappy. I would not recommend it. All right, so I've got to use the old one. That is the only option I have. This is not cool. I tried to be cheap, dude, and I tried to like rebuild this thing, and that was dumb. I should have just ordered the whole new kit for $500. That would have been the smartest available thing. Expensive, ridiculously expensive, but the only real option here. Because this is a piece of junk that I'm having to reuse, and there's no other availability for this little piece of junk. But yeah, this little thing goes on the bottom like so, and then like it's totally meant to like fit over this whole thing, and then this gets clamped in, and it's like this little piece of rubber is like key. Because yeah, this goes on here like so, this goes on the bottom, and then there's supposed to be like a little clip I'm supposed to get in over that. There's a little tiny little guy in there. I need to get. There's like a little circlip that goes on that holds this sock on there. There's a little tiny clip that goes in there and holds this sock on the bottom. So now I should be able to get this guy back in here. All right, now I can reattach this guy, and I need a new screw. Well, it's not that one. I need a new screw for the other one. This guy, I'm using the old screw. This should work just fine. And then we've got a hose from there to our fuel filter up here. All right, so get this guy on there, and I've got hose clamps here. All right, well, hopefully other people have learned from my mistakes today, because I mean, I'm getting stuff done here, but this is not ideal. It looks a lot better. I mean, I'll say that, and hopefully it will function and work. But now we need to order a new gas tank. We finally figured out that everybody else but me knew from like day one, looking at that gas tank, that it was beyond salvageable. But now we need to get a gas tank. That'll take like a week or whatever for that to come in. So we won't be able to start the bike until at least next week. And then I am freaking out about how I'm going to pay for this bike, and I need to find some money, man. We're not done for the day, because I've got 2 more things I'm going to do on this. I do have some screws here that are tiny, the right size screws for this guy, so I should be able to get that back together. Yes. It's fantastic. All right, and then we have also left is this one big gasket guy for the bottom. This guy right here. This is supposed to go on this way, like this. It's supposed to go over all this stuff. Should have put this on first, probably. And then there's all these little holes through here. There's these little nubs that go through all those holes. I think I need to rotate this around. Let's see, those seem like they'll line up. That will line up. That will line up. All right, so that should be the way it's supposed to go. Put all my little nubs through here. All right, so we're finished here. It's rebuilt. It should work just fine. I'm not happy about this little rubber piece I had to reuse here. If I had known I had to reuse that I couldn't get this thing, I probably would have just spent twice as much money and gotten the factory fuel pump, this whole unit from Honda. It's a shit ton of money, but it's little things like this just annoy me, you know? It's probably fine. It's probably just fine and it'll work just fine, but I don't like it. I don't like it. So anyways, that would be my recommendation if anybody else is in the same boat, just to order the Honda part. Pay the $500 and get this whole unit from Honda. So I've learned some hard lessons today. I'm not happy about it. It's not putting me in a good mood, but we are moving ahead at least. So I'm gonna go ahead and order a gas tank and then we'll see you tomorrow.